Hello everybody and welcome to today's walk or hike. It's a glorious evening. It's 4:15 in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, nice weekend hike for you. And I'm at the Dibba Mountain Park. So that's the Dibba Mountain Park. It's clearly setting up to be some sort of hotel activity centre. It's still under construction now, but I was told that the hiking trail that I'm going to go on now is ready and open to the public. And I was only told that very recently. So every likelihood that there's been next to nobody from the public that's been on this hiking trail. So what am I going to expect from this trail, from today's hike, this afternoon's hike? I don't really know, that's the truth. So it's quite nice, walking in the blind, not sure what there is. I presume as well, because it's quite a new trail, there it is ahead of us, straight ahead. I presume because it's quite a new trail, it's going to be easy to navigate. They don't put too many signposts up nowadays, which I kind of understand. We don't need them. If it's obvious where to go, why you don't need a signpost. I'm a big advocate of only using signs when they're needed. So this is Dibba Mountain Park here. And it's going to be, as I say, some sort of tourist attraction, tourist facility. I don't know, chalets, adventurous activity. A great location, in actual fact. Right nestled into the Hajar Mountains. So let's put the GPS on. I'll put all the info in the description as ever. Oh, I've got mountain biking on there from last time. Doing a lot of mountain biking now, very much enjoying it. All right, so here we go then. It's we're more or less at sea level. In actual fact, there's the sea, and this says 1 metre. I think we're above that. So, time of day 4:20. And I'm going to be going south 162 degrees. There's a map, and I've already been 23 seconds. So what are you doing? Come on, let's get on with it. Right then, let's start off straight up a flight of stairs. As I say, it looks very obvious. I like it already. They are getting better, there's no doubt about it. The guys that are building these hiking trails are getting better at finding natural lines, being creative with the mountains. Honestly, a few years ago, and you see it on some of the hiking trails that you go on. Let me put you here. Yeah, you see it on some of them, literally. I don't know, it's not that they get bored, or they got bored, they just didn't know any better at the time. And straight up a mountain, straight up bang. But now, okay, let's carry on. I'm only 5 minutes into the hike, but I've just seen two very large birds. So I've put the camera on just in the off chance. They didn't look like they didn't look like they wanted to be filmed. But they were just over there. Let's carry on. Also, I mean, it's straight into it, straight up. It's lovely. Big steps, nice ridge here. There's a lovely breeze as well. Lovely breeze coming across me. And we're well into October now. 32 degrees. I need my coat. I should zip up. So where are those birds? You want to have the faith in the guys that have built the trail here. I have. So I don't know if this is a big loop. The person that told me about it, oh wow, yeah, look at this. So that's Dibba Mountain Park. That is much bigger than I thought it was going to be, or I didn't think anything about it, to be honest. Oh no, it's nice. 2 paddle tennis courts. That must be a swimming pool complex there. Going to be clearly lots of restaurants. Maybe it's not accommodation. Maybe these are all shops or like a... No idea. One thing's for sure, we'll find out. We'll come back and visit it. Dibba Mountain Park. Yeah, the guy that told me about this, he clearly heard about it from someone else and they invited me. And I said, is it an out and back? Is it a loop? What is it? How long is it? And there was the kind of awkward silence. So I didn't press him on anymore. What I normally do is I provide all the data and all the route cards for all the mountain trails in Fujairah. Probably more than likely has come from the data I provided. And in actual fact, a few years ago, we made a set of route cards that somewhere Fujairah governments have got. Very informative, good fun to do as well. Oh, I love this trail, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, and it goes right up there. I love it. Yeah, already liking this one. All I hope is that it's not 7 kilometres long. It takes 4 hours. I got my torch and plenty of snacks and water, but truth be told, I want to be back at the hotel soon. Obviously there's plenty of construction work down there going on, but I've just walked along here and it's brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant. Might be a bit steep in actual fact. Wow, it could be very steep. Okay, just be careful, guys. Right, this is very steep indeed. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my hat away. Yeah, this is extremely steep. Yeah, in some respects I class this as dangerous, so just be very careful here, really. You know me, I definitely err on the side of caution. If I had a group of newbies here, or some children, or people that were a little bit scared, you've definitely got to look after them here. It's very interesting though. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm just saying be aware of it. So who's this trail for? Well, no more, excuse me. Yeah, so who's this trail for? Well, we'll know more by the end of it, how long, how hard, etc, etc, etc. But I'm actually staying at a hotel not far from here. In fact, I could just make out it's the Fairmont Hotel. And I'm doing a double header today. So I'm staying in the Fairmont tonight. So as soon as I've gone from here, I'll go back to what is quite a luxurious room in actual fact. I shall let the aching muscles soak a bit in the bath and try and take in some football later. And then tomorrow morning before breakfast, I'm going to do a sunrise walk or hike or trek up Ain Al Sharia, the geological trail, my favourite trail in the whole country. So I'm looking forward to getting up very early there before breakfast. It's about, I would say, 25-minute drive from here, and really looking forward to that. So there's not just the Fairmont. A little bit further on is the Radisson Blu. Last week, that mountain that I'm pointing at there, that's the Al Akar ascent. And I was up there last weekend. So we got the Meridian, we got the Intercontinental, we got the Rotsana Beach Resort, we've got the Royal M. There's loads of hotels here. Apologies to all those that I've missed. But this hiking trail is a great addition for the active holidaymaker to come and do. So I feel like I'm doing a public service. Do you know what I should do? I should make a film about this and put it on YouTube and let you all give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you did like the film on YouTube that gave you loads of information, you should subscribe to the channel, because then you would know about all the other adventurous activity that I'm finding out about now and in the future. And how about this? Look at this. I love it. Honestly, Fajera Adventures, I really do love this trail already. Very, very, very good. There's the old expression, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But I've started very, very well. So even if it finishes badly, I'll have these memories. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to take us up there. No idea. No idea at all. I've only been walking 17 minutes and I'm already at 140 metres. So that just gives you a bit of an idea about how steep it is. There are some giant steps. If you were entering a world championship of single leg lunges, come and walk up here once. I'd back you all the way to win the world championships. There's a lot of steps that are 50 centimetres tall. Yeah, I like it. Different. And I was saying, I wonder if it goes up there. And the camera doesn't pick it up very well, but I can see where it goes ahead in the distance. I shouldn't get this excited, should I? It's just another weekend hike for me, isn't it? But I love it. I am excited by it. And I think part of it is because I've not done it before. That looks like I was saying, go ahead there. And then one said, no, let's be sensible. Let's keep them safe. Let's keep them alive. Go this way. Yeah, it's pretty extreme. I gotta tell you, it's pretty extreme. It's up and down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. When they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. That's a little bit loose there. I'm certainly not telling you how to walk or how to hike, but sometimes when you're on the loose stuff, I'm definitely not saying do it. Sometimes don't try and stop yourself on the loose stuff. Try and go over the loose stuff and get onto something that you can see is solid. Yeah, because actually stopping on here can be more difficult than actually put you on your backside. You'll learn though. We all learn. It's like driving a car. You're all going to have one crash. Just a case of when. If you've never had a crash, you're going to have it, don't worry. And then you'll learn something from it. If you're a bit like me, you have crashes all the time. Right, turn this camera off. It goes way up there. Way. It's going to go to the top, you know. I'm sure it is. About 1 kilometre done now, and yeah, I've been going 25 minutes. But I just put the camera on here. Just look at this here. All the hard work. I mean, I know these guys that build these trails. If I had my hat on, I would take it off. Hats off to you guys. I know firsthand the amount of work that you put in to create this trail. So it's much appreciated. Just goes up and up and up. Just look what they've done here. Just look at this work here. The health and safety scares me in the first instance, but let me show you. Just look at this, what they've done here. I just don't want to be that person that put those bottom rocks in there. I presume they've had to be tied off, and health and safety wise, Health and Safety at Work Act, all that sort of stuff. But what they've done, they've taken us up a cliff with the use of almost like Swiss architecture. It's amazing. You've got to come here. I started this route by saying I didn't know much about it, and I've quickly learned an awful lot about it. And I suppose the single biggest thing is just how big it is, how tough it is. I say the single. It's dangerous. Look, and I'm not just turning the camera on because of that. It's been like this all the way, and it's so challenging to get up there. I mean, it's knees up by your ears, hands on your knees when you're climbing up, and it goes on and on and on. So I definitely know more about it. Also, I can see over there, you won't see it on the camera, but this is going to be a horseshoe shape. I can see a route that goes all the way down here, and that was never mentioned to me, so that's why I think my friend might have been a bit vague about what the trail was. Maybe originally it was just to the top and back down again, but now I think they've extended it round, and it's a classic. It's brilliant. Let's carry on up. I'll leave the camera on just for a few seconds because, I suppose a downside to when they're so steep, the climbing like this, a downside to this is the fact that you can't get your head up and see the spectacular views. I've not mentioned the Oman Sea. I've not mentioned that. It's wonderful. And then, as if by magic, I've got a nice easy bit. Thank you. But if history has shown anything on this trail, it's not going to be easy for long. And look at this, straight back into the big climb. And it goes up and up and up. There's a lot of this loose stuff here. One thing I would say, 100%, this is not a trail to be done at night. This is a daytime only trail, and not to be done in your own. You've got to pal up with somebody here. Make sure there is the potential for things to go wrong on this one, for sure. Do not take it lightly. 45 minutes to get to the summit. Look at this. That is a very difficult 45 minutes of climbing. Wow. That is excellent. There were times coming up there, my legs were absolutely burning. Like proper in the gym with big weight on the squat machine. Oof, oof. Yeah, great effort. And this is where it goes down, look. All the way around there. Okay, I'm going to start the descent and also give you some stats, what could go wrong. Just a bit of a heads up, it is obvious. I've just come up here and then I've turned left. So I came up here and then went up there to the summits where I said hello to you. This is clearly the way down, and it's definitely a much newer trail. There's no doubt about it. It's sort of dusted off. It's almost like they've knew I was coming and they put a broom up here. Right then, so it was 1.3 kilometres to the top. Took me about 45 minutes. I think I got before when I said 140 metres, I think that was my pulse, because we're at 170 metres here, and this is definitely much more than 20 metres higher, 30 metres higher than there. Total ascent 221, total descent 52, that would make sense. It's gone 5 o'clock now, obviously getting dark quite soon after 6. I'll put a timestamp on this. It's October, just get straight down here. It's October 22nd. Yeah, that's my booking for the Fairmont. October the 22nd, so the sun sets sometime quite soon after 6 o'clock. So whilst I normally sit at the top there and, as I say, put the world to rights and really be philosophical, I'm going to get a crack on. I'm going to get a wiggle on, because I presume an hour is going to be plenty of time to get down. But I don't want to be complacent. As I say, I've never done this walk before. Also, we have an expression, I might have mentioned it in one of my other films. Let me put you over the shoulder so you can see where I'm walking. We've got an expression, I love it, and I use it often. It's about walking yourself into danger. You know, if you're not sure what's ahead of you, there might be actually something more dangerous. You might be going over I don't know if you're in the Himalayas or going up K2, or I know K2's in the Karakoram range. We're in the Hajjars. I named a few mountains, H1, H2, H3, because we didn't have names for them. So, but I've seen them in the Snowdonia, in the Snowdon range of mountains, where we've walked up and up and up, and it's got icier and colder and colder, and more dangerous, and then we've actually got ourselves stuck there. So we've had to dig in for the night, and that's just over 1,000 metres. So it doesn't matter where you are. I was a bit naive. I actually thought a walk this close to the coast, to the Oman Sea, and the mountains relatively look quite small, I thought this actually might be a very difficult hike, but as I say, that was a leg burning, lung busting exercise to get up there. But I do love it. Just because I'm talking about what it's really like doesn't mean stay away. Oh yeah, yeah. Watch that, guys. Look at this one. That's loose. No point in telling you to watch out for that step on the way down because, well, look, it looks like there was going to be a trail there, but discretion is the greater part of valour, is the better part of valour. Oh, I do forget everything. I wish I hadn't played quite so much rugby and done so many stupid things. An amazing trail, absolutely amazing. Every twist and turn brings you a new dimension, a new view. What we've got now, I've descended from the top and it's been nice. It's been a little bit slippy if I'm being honest. It's a bit like this, but I'll be coming down on it. So there are some slippy bits. I've had to kind of use momentum and almost jog down some of them. And now I've got a clear climb to that peak there, which is going to get the heart rate going again, I would say. Legs, my thighs, my quads, quadriceps, 4 of them. What are the 4 quadriceps? Quiz question for you. 5. Wow, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, if you fall off here, guys, no one will hear you scream. You won't be screaming. These have gone a bit funny thinking about it. Why am I thinking about falling off? Quadriceps. The vastus medialis, that's the one on the inside. Vastus lateralis, that's the one on the outside. Vastus the sartorius. Oh, quadriceps has just gone crazy. So, let's carry on up. Legs are burning from that. So that's where we've just been. Top of there, 170 metres. Dropped very quickly. And look at this. Let's not live in the past, let's live in the future. Where are we going? And so there's still a way to go yet. That descent, that trail going down. Could be another peak after this. I'm not even down yet, but I know enough about this trail to be able to comment on it, especially now. I was just thinking, what makes this special? I've been on just about every trail I would suggest worth hiking or trekking or walking on in the UAE, and every trail has got its own unique characteristic. Just say, for instance, the water in Wadi Wadaya, or the spectacular views on Dibba Mountain, or the popularity of Rabi Tower, or the physical hardness of Rafisa Dam, or the nature of the Albitna Nature Trail, or the rock formations in Wadi Gub, the rainbow rock formations, or the petroglyphs up on Ain Al Sarir on the geological trail. Every trail is unique in its own special way, isn't it? And this one is definitely unique. If it was longer, I would suggest it was going to be harder than Rafisa Dam, but I'm definitely on the way down now, definitely. So it's not difficulty. I've not seen any water, no petroglyphs, no nature. I've seen some fox poop, no nature. And so what this trail is unique for is the actual trail itself. I would say per kilometre of trail, I mean, I'm just looking here, just straight in front there. Per kilometre of trail, I think they put more work in on this trail, and I'm only guessing here, I don't want anyone to get upset, but they put more work in per kilometre, per 100 metres, whatever the measure is, of effort into making the trail possible. Just these little steps here, bang, bang, bang. Some of them are loose, mind. We'll just spent a bit longer. But they've had to create a trail where they're not normally. I'm sure when they first got here, and the boss said to the guys, right, I want to go up there. The guys all looked at each other and said, what? What were you doing last night? Yeah, it's very unique from that point of view. And I absolutely love it. But it is tough. I've got to get a move on because the sun is definitely gone, and There's me saying 6 o'clock should be fine. I don't really have much time left. Let me get a move on. But look at this. Look at this. They were probably under my feet here. I tell you what I do. I go here. Look at this. That's what I mean. I can relax a little bit now. I'm going to relax, of course, because, you know, as I say, most of the accidents happen in the last sort of 5%. 95% of accidents happen in the last 5% of the hike. So, whilst I'm going to relax, I'm not going to relax, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to relax in that I've been an hour and 15 minutes. I've come down quite quickly. In fact, if you can have a look now, you'll see in a sec. That's where I was up there, right on the top. So I've come down quite quickly, and the reason I'm going to start saying my goodbyes to you is because they're still working on the Dibba Mountain Resort. I think that's what it's called, Dibba Mountain Village. I'll confirm it in the description. I think it's on Google Maps now though. And they're still working there. They are nearing completion. So this noise that you can hear, this sort of noise pollution, and there was quite a bad smell of kind of epoxy resin type paint and whatever it was, but that's only temporary for sure. So I love the hike. I absolutely love this hike. 100% I'm going to come back and do it again without any shadow of doubt or doubt. And what would I tell people that are coming to do it? Obviously bring plenty of food and water, come with somebody, definitely. Don't do it solo. And bring plenty of food and water. Nice to have a good rest on the top, knowing how long it's going to take. Like I say, it's not going to be an hour and a half to the truck, no way. And one thing I would say though, I wouldn't just come here in flat trainers. If you play squash and you've got a flat pair of court shoes with no grip whatsoever, only friction on a nice wooden floor, you see what I'm saying here? It's very loose in places and very, very steep in places. So if you've got yourself some trail trainers, or better still walking shoes, I would always advocate using proper walking shoes. These are actually Adidas Terex trail shoes, so there's plenty of grip on them. But if I was to do it again, I think I'd wear my proper hiking boots, hiking shoes. I don't wear boots, they're too heavy and too hot. It's not a beginner's route. It's physically very demanding. There are areas where it is potentially very, very dangerous, but don't let that put you off. Look at the video, do your research, think about what you're able to do. Maybe go with a more experienced friend. Ask me some questions in the comments. Don't be afraid to hit me up in the comments below. You know, I will reply. It's what I'm doing here. It's what I love doing. One person's thanked me awfully for such a prompt reply, and it was actually saying that I'm getting lost. Where am I? Looks like there's some stones here saying don't go here. In these trees, yeah. Always have a look when you get to these trees, because often you see little chipmunks, tiny chipmunks. They're amazing, and if you see them when they're very, very baby chipmunks. I mean, they're not very big when they're full size, but when they're babies, they're not quite as scared of humans. Their mum and dad are quite nervous, quite neurotic little creatures, which I understand because they're bottom of the food chain. Right, there's the truck straight ahead. It actually looks like somebody stood next to it. I know, it's just the shadow and the wheel. So, what we're talking about, chipmunks of course. Why wouldn't we be talking about chipmunks? Yeah, my wife and I found a whole family of them. Well, I say my wife and I. She found them and I thought, wow, I wish I could find chipmunks like you. And there were, I'm going to say there were 4 or 5 little babies. And she picked one up. And they were lovely. Absolutely lovely. Reminds me about a trip we took to Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, and there's some very famous chipmunks there on one of the drives. We went hiking in the Lanzarote. We've been to Fuerteventura, and do you know why it's called the Canary Islands? Here's a good question for you. I'll let you Google it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canine, the Latin for dog, Yeah, the Canary Islands are the dog islands, and a lot of Spanish children, obviously they're Spanish islands, territories, and because of the shape of a television, when they do the weather forecasting, they chop out the Canary Islands, put them underneath the Balearic Islands, underneath Mallorca, Menorca. Menorca is the minor, the smaller, Mallorca is the bigger, and they put the Canary Islands underneath the Balearic Islands in the Mediterranean. And there's a significant amount of school children in Spain that think the Canary Islands are actually not in the Atlantic, they're actually in the Mediterranean. And I used to say this to travel and tourism students, and in the UK, and travel and tourism students would go, they're not very clever, are they? And I'd say to them, right then, here's a map of the UK. I want you please to mark on there the Shetland Islands, the Orkney Islands, the Orkney Islands, Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, and they couldn't do that at all. So be careful. I think the moral to that story is be careful. Don't start taking the mickey out of others, because, well, just don't do it. I can do it because I'm old and wise and stupid and thick-skinned, and I don't care what people will say. This is interesting. Look at this. Do you know what this means? How has this happened? So they've dug down, have they, and planted a tree? No, in actual fact what they've done is they've raised, they must have dug thousands and thousands of tons of rubble out of there, flattening that valley out in preparation for the mountain resort, and dragged it down here. And there's actually I think it's 50,000 dirham fine if you chop a tree down, because trees are precious here in the UAE, quite rightly so. They chop that down, someone gets slapped with a 50k fine. So look what they've done there. What was I talking about? Yeah, advanced trail, don't take it lightly. It's definitely one of my favourites. I'll give you the exact stats now. 2.85 kilometres, 1 hour 25 minutes, and total ascent 256 metres. And it's 5:48. What about that, guys? Oh, another thing as well, I just parked here because I got told go up on the left hand side. I would suggest that this is all going to be car parking here in the future, and there was car parking there. So in actual fact it would be better when the car parking's there to start in the middle and then go whichever way round you want. I don't think one way is significantly going to be better or worse, easier or more difficult than the other. So listen guys, all that is left for me to do now is to wish you the best. Thank you for coming this afternoon with me. I don't even know what this is called, the Dibba Mountain Resort Horseshoe. How about that? Peace out guys, see you all soon. The English Explorer.